Because you're a fucking goob.
I'm not a fucking goob. I'm just a silly little guy.
That's the
That's gonna
same
be-
thing.
No, you won't.
It's too much. Too much.
You shan't. I can do whatever I want.
Well, you know what Sun Tzu said. Fail for wood.
Fail for wood? And we're rolling! My name is Lik'a. Welcome to Lik'a and Friends. Today, I have Bandit and Resident. Say hi, Bandit.
Hello.
Say hi, Resident.
Howdy-ho.
And today, Heidi-ho. And today, I have a fun little game to torture you guys with. It's gonna be, well, it's gonna be a surprise. That's what it's gonna be. First, what I want to know is how you been? What's the rumpus? What do you know? What do you say?
Good.
I'm sweating my balls off here in this goddamn station.
The secrecy can't be
Oh, no.
doxed.
Secrecy. Well, I also recently sweated my balls off. This
Oh, did you
weekend I
catch
was
'em?
in Arizona. What? They didn't
Well, did you
fall
catch
off,
'em?
thankfully. They were actually just
Oh.
scalded to my body from the heat.
Oh, so they're extra
Yeah.
secure. That's good. That's good. They'll never leave.
I did lose my golf balls though, because that's the only activity to do in Arizona.
What do you mean? There's so much to do. There's be hot. There's live in the pool. There's hang out at the local retirement community and golf. That's a lot. That's plenty. All right.
So,
Resident,
what's the score?
what are you doing?
Laughing at the downfall of Tesla while I played this game.
Muhahaha. You know, actually, it is coming down pretty hard for them right now.
Well, maybe they should build good cars.
I know,
I mean,
right?
real.
I mean, like, here's the problem
Totally
with
come-
even just ignoring all the politics, which I would like to avoid. The problem with Tesla, I think, just at the base level of a car manufacturer, is that they're not a car manufacturer. They're a tech company that started making cars, and they're not very good at it.
No.
Like, a piece of technology is allowed to feel kind of cheap. It's allowed to feel a little bit chintzy. You know, it's just kind of how it is. A lot of things are made with plastic. You expect the feeling of plastic. You get into a Tesla and it feels like plastic, and that would be fine if it was a piece of technology and not a vehicle that you spend $30, $40, $50,000 on. There's a distinct difference. Like, you hop into an F-150 and it feels more like a vehicle than a Tesla does. They just, it's different. It's just different disciplines. You can't just switch between them.
It is also kind of the curse of electric cars, though, because you bring up the F-150. We had a Lightning come in, and the way they redid the front end with just plastic cladding and no venting and just a big flat front, the thing looked like a little, it looked like a big wheels, like a Power Wheels thing. It didn't look like a real car.
You're right, honestly. Like, I like the Lightning, at least in concept. I've never played with one, but it seems to work well. I've heard a lot of good positive things about it. It seems to be a good vehicle, but it is just an
looks
F1.
so stupid.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. That's,
I know someone who owns it. They don't tow with it. They love it. As long as you're not towing with them.
I think that makes sense. Is it just, does towing just drop the range through the floor, and that's the thing?
It
you're
can third
towing-
to quarter the range.
Yeah, if you're towing at its maximum tow capacity and it's a cold day out, you're only getting like 50 miles worth of range.
On a like optimal temperature day at like a little more comfortable load, you're still stopping less than every 100 miles.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
that's...
that's not how the truck market is right now. People drive they use trucks like they're a sedan. I feel like they've
No,
got
that's true.
2 rows. They've got nice seats, luxurious interior.
That's true. You could live in there.
Yeah.
That's in fact, that's where I'm recording from. My neighbor has one. I decided to set up shop. It's got decent soundproofing, so I don't really have to, try too hard. It's a little dark.
But back to Tesla, I feel like they just never developed. They never advanced. Like, yeah, the Tesla Model S has drastically changed since its, 2011 model year, but they were ahead of the field. They were astronomically ahead of the field when it came to electric vehicles, and they did nothing with it. They just let everyone catch up, and now we're realizing, oh, you can get a better electric car than Tesla, and significantly better quality, too, at that.
That's 100% correct. You're just 100% right. That's the thing. They've been riding
They
on
never
their...
developed, and everyone caught up.
Hyundai is making some of the best electric cars on the market right now, and they absolutely fucking trounce Teslas.
That's the thing. It's exactly what Bandit was saying. they rode on their coattails of being the first actually effective electric car. Like, there were many before them. I mean, there were electric cars going back to the teens and 20s, but they were the first electric vehicle that you could just use like a normal car. At least, you know, the first one that got popular. They've been riding on their coattails on that, and it's exactly what you said. They've never really innovated. They got their one
Yeah.
thing, and that's it.
They innovated with the wrong stuff. So they innovated with the Cybertruck because the Cybertruck chassis. Okay, remember that
Is a mistake.
Jerry rigged everything
Yes.
video? I think it's Jerry rigged everything. He made that video about the frame snapping. And everyone knows how Whistling Diesel had the rear end frame where the hitch attach just snaps on Tesla.
Not just whistling. More people have demonstrated the issue, both in real life and on YouTube.
Everyone
Because
and their
it's
mother.
cast aluminum. The entire frame is cast aluminum.
So what you're saying is
It's really cool. That is actually like
It's
that's
a neat
huge.
idea, but it's a
huge
terrible
development.
execution.
I think that
Terrible execution for a truck. So they have been developing, but in the wrong areas. Like why have the Cybertruck be the platform for that, and then everyone's clowning you for that when that could be the platform for your next sedan.
here's my thought. If you just made a
It's how they
thicker,
build all of their cars. They're all cast aluminum core chassis.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Well, the injected mold cast.
The way
aluminum?
the Cybertruck is done is like to the extreme, but like the bare bones of every Tesla is going to be a cast aluminum part. I was just looking at one the other day, and the strut towers are fucking cast aluminum.
that
Well,
doesn't seem.
It doesn't seem too bad.
I wasn't gonna
for
say
just
too
a
bad.
car.
That feels like what it feels like to me, considering the Cybertruck specifically, which is a mistake in every way. Because, well, for a variety of reasons, their control arms are too small, the cooling system is too vulnerable, the electronics are all daisy-chained together, which is foolish.
It's not
So-
actually even in the slightest waterproof.
Not to get too bogged down in the Cybertruck, but it's got a lot of problems, and
Yeah.
there's a reason it's a terrible vehicle. I think there's some interesting technology, like such a massive cast aluminum thing. I personally wouldn't trust it to a car. I don't really like the idea of cast aluminum being used in a frame, especially because, like, let's compare frame to frame. Cast aluminum versus a steel frame, a traditional steel frame. When a steel frame gets overstressed, it bends. When a cast aluminum frame gets overstressed, it snaps. And if I'm going to choose between the two, I'm okay with losing a little bit of weight advantage for the sake of having something that, if something bad happens, if it reaches the point where it's overstressed, if I hit a pothole that I didn't know was there or whatever, I would prefer that now I'm driving funny versus now I'm upside down or now half my car has fallen off. Like, I think that it's an interesting technology, but what feels like to me that calling that particular thing, especially applied the way it was, feels like saying that in the same way that Ocean Gate innovated on a submarine design by using a different material. Like,
Yeah.
And then using a Logitech controller.
Yeah, technically it's impressive to do this thing with that, but in what you're using it for, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, obviously Ocean Gate is a whole other thing. That was a really foolish decision, but I think a cast aluminum frame could be very effective in more of like I don't know, kind of think of like a BAC mono or a KTM crossbow or something like that. Something where it's a light track specific car. It weighs nothing, and all of the forces that are going to be imparted on it are not, the world that it lives in is not covered in speed bumps and potentially potholes and pedestrians who trip and fall, things like that. In a road course type of setting, or even a drag race type of setting, especially a drag race type of setting, I could see a cast aluminum frame being very effective. But on any vehicle that starts going past, 3,000 pounds, that makes me feel concerned. Stresses me out just due to the way that cast aluminum fails. I don't know. I think
it is innovative. I think it's the way the future is going for mass production, and making things cheaper. China does that. China mass produces their frames, doing aluminum injection mold frames because it's a time saver. And so you do the injection mold of your frame, and then you only machine surfaces where things are going to attach to. I think for a manufacturing sense, it makes sense. Now, I see where you're coming from, where the worry of like how it fails, it snaps under load. I don't think it's too much of a concern.
I
because an engineer can figure out how much load a cast piece can take.
That does kind of bring me to the problem that Resident brought up, which is just that people are already breaking it. Like,
Yeah.
it seems
Well
that
under technically its rated loads.
like I don't know if here's my main problem with Tesla as a company, as a car manufacturer. Again, ignoring all the politics of the other stuff, is that I can't trust that any of their innovations that also include cost saving was done properly and safely because of how often, like, let's say for, again, the Cybertruck, another one of those stories that comes out, one of the things I mentioned is the daisy-chained electronics. They did that to save money, and they were like, oh, we're saving weight, we're saving wire, we're saving money, and what it turned out is because they just daisy chained everything off of each other. That creates, well, an electrical
sensor killing the whole rear half.
yeah, like that's a problem, obviously. Plus, I work in industrial electronics. You're sucking a whole vehicle's worth of electrical connection through just a few wires, and knowing that they reduced it down to that, how can you be certain that they actually made sure they're using a good enough wire for that kind of amperage that's being drawn?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess I say that, but now what's been reminded me is all the times that I've seen a Cybertruck on fire on the internet, so maybe they didn't. I can't trust that they did what a car manufacturer would do and actually go through full testing, actually do the math, because it seems like they're actually pretty okay with going a bit willy-nilly. And another example being the rust issue and the water that gets in the frame and starts killing bolts and killing wires. That was a cost-saving measure too.
Mhm.
They used to actually do it properly and then install, because you attach anything to a frame, anything to a bit of square stock, you need to drill a hole in probably both sides so you can access the hardware. And they would do that. And then, like normal people, they would install rubber plugs on those holes that you have to drill. They'd keep corrosion out, keep water out, whatever. Apparently, and it's not like I actually saw it happen. This is just one of those, this is what an employee said happened. Apparently, they just stopped using those plugs as a time-saving and thus cost-saving measure, and that's why they have such issues with rust and corrosion getting inside, and why people say things like, oh, you go through a puddle, you're gonna hear water sloshing around forever. It's because they never actually sealed off the frame to the outside elements for the sake of cost savings. Those are all the reasons
They pulled a Boeing, but with rust.
Yeah, it's just, and that's kind of it's hard for me to condemn them too much because, well, why did they make all these cost-saving measures without properly testing them and making sure it was safe? Well, to save money. And why'd they save money? Well, because you just keep going up the list. Yeah, and they cut corners to save money so that they can sell a product for more money so they can make more money because my headphones just died. Because hold on one second. Yeah. I gotta fix my headphones.
Okay, so I had an idea recently.
Okay.
Because I feel like we could go on and on and on about Tesla for a long time, and it'd just be the same monotonous. Oh, it's all terrible, it's all garbage, but they're still going to be making cars, and so yeah, yay, hooray. Resident.
Yes.
This is a topic you'd be interested in.
Okay.
Recently, one of my favorite YouTubers, Driving for Answers. He's a European guy who goes really into the science and basics.
Yeah, I watch him too.
Understanding of engines. He lives in Portugal now. I forget where he's from. He's got a bit of an accent. Love his videos.
Thick.
He talking about this American guy who made 100 mile per gallon 70s. Out of
on a V8, right?
A Ford LTD on a V8, right? And how he did that, but why it really never went anywhere. Basically, what it is engines can run way more fuel efficiently on vaporized fuel because we all know how an
injector vaporizes
carburetors, fuel injectors, they atomize fuel. Kind of, yes. Injector, like a direct injector at the 3,000 RPM. I think how it works is it gets close, but vaporizing fuel is different than injectors and carburetors. That's atomizing. The reason why, of course, we don't vaporize fuel before putting it into our engines is because how this Driving for Answers YouTuber described. No, you can't really accelerate easily. You can't make a car have a range of acceleration quickly.
Oh, it's a very steady ramp
into
up.
the car. Yeah, you can only steadily accelerate, and I mean like steadily. His demonstration car had a 0 to 60 of like 2 miles.
Oh God.
So right, so that's not applicable to regular cars, and also vaporized fuel. I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to light a match around vaporized fuel. It's
Yippee.
volatile. But the thing about vaporized fuel is that you can get it up to like a 40-to-1 lean mixture. You can get
Damn.
so much range out of a gallon of vaporized fuel instead of liquid fuel. So that had me thinking, you can't really apply it to a engine that you're getting power off of to drive the
No.
wheels.
But a generator.
And you can't really easily, exactly. So you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Mazda has these rotary range extenders,
Yeah,
right?
the CX-50, I believe.
And one of their
Remember.
SUV models. Really
Yeah.
boring. They brought back the rotary in the most boring, mundane sense you could possibly have.
Yeah.
I'm curious if those would work better on vaporized fuel. There'd still be the safety danger, but there wouldn't be the acceleration issue.
It would probably have to be port injected, but I think it would work.
Right. And now my thinking is, can we get a rotary to function on vapor fuel? And also because isn't it how rotaries are not fuel efficient, but they're actually more fuel efficient at constant speed, aren't they?
Yeah, it's set RPM.
At
You can
set
get
RPMs,
a
they can be fuel efficient. It's real world, they're never fuel efficient because everyone's revving the snot out of them.
the FB was rated at 32 highway mpg in 1983.
And what was its city? Big gap, right?
21.
Yeah. So I feel like that would be so cool to see. Would be a vapor fuel range extender on an electric car. It would be fuel efficient, like crazy.
I mean, would you want to try at some point building with me just like bench model, just a proof of concept?
Yeah. I wish there was like a proof of concept because it never went anywhere. This guy invented this vapor system to feed engines. And then he got into money issues after selling his invention to a company and then mysteriously died.
The feds killed him.
Although it's not really mysterious. That's what everyone says. But he had money issues. He basically got into a ton of debt.
Mobsters.
And, right, like you win the lottery and then you go bankrupt. He basically did that. And then his invention never went anywhere. We never, ever expanded upon vapor fuel cars for the obvious reason of it's vapor fuel, it's volatile, and also you can't accelerate and drive the wheels like a normal car with it.
Yeah.
But as a range extender in the days of where we have electric cars, that's the grid is becoming more and more, built for electric cars. I think it should be investigated as a use for a generator.
I mean, I could always just try
hydrogen
to...
cars are already going to be, explosive.
And rotaries
So why
can
not
run
have,
on burning
you know,
hydrogen.
Yeah. I also saw rotaries are much more reliable.
No
or
hot
fuel
spots,
efficient than hydrogen.
baby. More even burn. 30%.
Does that mean methanol? Like hotspots? Does that mean methanol rotaries are like super
Oh, they're
cool
fucking-
and able to make
They're
so much more power?
screamers, and they hook hard.
Yeah. Is that like what all
It's
the
what they do
high
in Brazil.
horsepower ones are? Like Rob Don. Does he does methanol?
He
Or is that on
might
pump
be on the
gas?
4-rotor, because that thing's fucking
like
angry.
where you're seeing 1,000+ horsepower rotaries. Are those just methanol because that's the way to go for high horsepower?
It might be. One sec.
Hello.
I could just look that up. Hello.
Can you
Oh,
hear
he's
any-
back.
The 4-rotor runs on E85.
Yeah, so it's ethanol. Okay. I mean, does ethanol make engines run cooler?
Yeah.
Or is that only methanol? Because I know methanol is like a cold burn. I don't ever remember hearing something about methanol being a cold burn, but I can imagine it could be. It definitely is a higher octane for boost. Or wait, is it a higher octane for boost because it's colder?
Well, the idiot Google AI says
No,
that
no, that doesn't
fire is hot.
Okay.
So that's not super helpful. So-
Anyways, I want to see vapor range extenders, vapor fuel range extenders. I want to see that because we can still use our gas infrastructure because that ain't going away. But we can burn less gas and we can have long range electric cars. Yay.
That is actually a really good idea, and I do think that technology should be explored. However, now,
Yeah.
you guys have had your news segment.
What are we going to do?
I have my own news segment that I'm going to talk to you about while using Push to Talk like a loser. So, because right now my headphones have died, so I have no way of isolating my audio from your sound. So it just, yeah, I can't speak all the time. I'm using a shift key. Yeah, I'm a fucking loser. My news story is the new redone AC Cobra. Have y'all seen that?
I don't
Is
think
it
I
like
have.
that carbon body 800 horsepower AC Cobra?
Discord is a rat bastard. I hate myself and I hate everything. Oh, yes. So,
It doesn't.
AC Cobra
It
is
doesn't
back.
look like. Huh.
Here's the problem. The headlights are too small.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it doesn't look like
Can you
an
send a photo?
exact replica, which I think is honestly a good thing because we already have exact replicas. This
That's
is a
true.
modern age Cobra. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the BMW Z8. Is that what it's called? The BMW? It reminds me of a mixture of the Z8 and a Cobra. Like if they made a modern BMW Z8 and a Cobra combined is what it looks like.
So, yeah, AC is coming back, sort of. It is AC, like actually, sort of the company. I mean,
Well,
obviously
who
everyone
bought the rights to AC?
like that is the thing. That's why it's kind of sort of the, but it is, on paper the same brand.
Hey,
One
yo,
of
but I have to say, the body, it makes me feel a certain kind of way. I kind of dig
Oh
it.
god, he's feeling a certain kind of way. Well, look at the headlights. Look how tiny they are. It ain't right.
Okay.
I think it looks really good, especially for a $250,000 car.
Yeah, it's expensive. I saw that.
It's incredibly expensive.
Why does this thing have almost 700 horsepower? That's insane.
So that's the thing. They got a couple different options. I've been sort of following this because once I heard that it was coming back, I was really intrigued and I thought it looked pretty nice. I'm not a huge fan of the headlights, but that's it. That is the only negative that I can see, except the AC Classic. Go ahead and take a look at the AC Ace, and I'm kind of bummed about it because it looks really good.
4-cylinder or an electric.
Yeah, I'm fine with an electric car. I'm fine with a 4-cylinder car. I don't care. Everyone can, choose what they want because the 4-cylinder that it comes with is some kind of EcoBoost. Yeah, it's a 2.3, a Ford 2.3. Ford 2.3s are pretty darn decent. 320 horsepower ain't nothing. But my problem is that it looks a lot like the slab side Cobra, which I love. There's only one company, far as I know, that makes a replica slab side. Everyone and their mother makes a replica of the 427 version that showed up in, I think, 67, 66? 66. But the early version, I think it was 66. Like the early version, the slab side looks so good without the flares, the one that was based with the 289. And I'm just bummed that this one, which is the closest to a modern reproduction of the slab side Cobra that I've ever seen, doesn't have a V8. You can't have a V8 in it. That just kind of bums me out.
Yeah, because didn't they have V8s for a bit?
Yeah, what happened with that is that
Well, what was the original AC?
So the original AC was a 4-cylinder, which is what I think they're going for. They're going after not the AC Cobra, not the middle one that showed up in, I think, 62 and ran into the 65 or a little bit later, and then was
Yeah, because
not.
it was a 2-liter inline 6.
Yeah, it was a little motor that they then lost the ability to buy motors. They went to Ford, Shelby brokered a deal, bada bing, bada boom. They had a 260, I believe, at first, and then they swapped to a 289, and you had a little small block powered Cobra, which to me have always looked the best. And according to people who've driven them, they feel the best. Like, that's why my Mustang has a small block in it. It's because I know that if I throw a big block in it, it's going to affect the handling pretty hard. And my Mustang I want it to go around corners. So
Is that purely because of the weight of a big block?
yeah, because it's going to make the 60s Mustang, it's got a lot of weight in the front. A lot. So when you take a 3, 4, 500 horsepower small block, depending on how much aluminum has been shoved in place of cast iron, and you take that and you replace it with a 700 or 800 pound motor, it gets real silly. It immediately plows a little bit more. It's not, and all the extra torque.
Just get an aluminum block, FE, you know?
Oh, just get an aluminum FE.
It's only $53,000.
Oh my god.
Oh, I mean,
I'm looking at Carroll Shelby Engine Company right now.
it is Shelby.
50,
It's
yeah,
still
50,
Shelby's.
yeah, $53,000.
Oh, well,
That's insane.
hey, Bandit, can I borrow your kidney?
Oh, right.
Resident, you get in on this too.
Yeah.
Just think of how
I'm
happy,
gonna need the other one.
Think of how happy I'll be.
So basically, my kidney pays for the engine. Resident, your Your kidney pays for the AC
No,
Cobra
no,
kit.
your other kidney.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't make
No,
this
no, no,
very
no, no,
clear.
no, no. We've
Garrett,
already
we're
decided.
taking both of them.
Ooh, I
No,
have a
no,
news
no, one
story.
each.
Yeah, yep, yep. I think that it makes more sense. I'm afraid, Resident, that I'm gonna take one of your kidneys, one of
Yeah.
Bandit's kidneys. I'm gonna combine the price, and then I will be able to put an all aluminum 427 in the Mustang.
Oh God,
I think that that's the answer.
no.
It's probably the way to go.
Possibly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, does
I
it have
have
a Coyote now?
what does?
The Cobra.
That's a good question.
What
I think
V8 does it use?
I believe it's a
It's
coyote.
a coyote. It's a 5-liter.
I believe it is a coyote, as normal people pronounce it. They do have
One's supercharged.
one of my problems with the original Cobra, the coupe version. Well, no, not the coupe version. The hardtop that you could add onto it. It is the ugliest hardtop I've ever seen on any vehicle.
Oh,
is
it's pretty bad
so-
on this.
It's so bubbly. But the thing is that this modern version, it's not as bad. Have you ever seen the original baseball
that
cap
bad?
looking? Oh, it's pretty
It's-
awful.
It's
This
that
one looks
bad.
pretty good.
Uh-huh.
This one looks pretty good on this. Like the original hardtop on an original Shelby Cobra looks
It,
awful.
it looked that way because you had
Okay.
to still open the trunk, right?
You know what? I'm seeing a lot of you know what? It's ruined because of Backdraft. Backdraft they started, and then also a couple companies. No, the original hardtop looks terrible. Man, like you go on Google Images and it's actually hard to find an original hardtop anymore with all the companies that are making better looking hardtops. But no,
Okay,
they
so
look goofy as hell. Stock.
the one
factory,
for
original.
this, it's the side silhouette that looks goofy, but then once you hit it from any other angle, it doesn't look as bad.
Are you talking?
Never mind. I actually the new AC Cobra. I dig this coupe. I hated it at first, but I keep looking at it and it's kind of growing on me.
The new one, the modern one.
Yeah.
I am going to place an image in the Discord, paste, of an original Cobra hardtop, or at least the original design. This is, I
That's
believe, a
atrocious. That looks like the shitty Triumph hardtops.
Yeah, it's too
Yeah,
tall.
it's-
It's because it's a really small car that your average person can't really fit under the windshield. So they got to jump it up and then jump right back down. So it just looks bad. And I love the Cobra so much, especially the 289 Cobra. I love it. We're going to move on to the game. The actual
Oh, a
thing.
game.
Yes, we're
Oh,
moving on
okay.
to the
Finally.
We've been talking for 40 minutes about everything from Tesla and their manufacturing failures, their innovations that I believe are being wrongfully applied. And we bounced into rotaries for some reason. Everyone knows the worst engine type. You can just tell based on the name. Wankel, like, who wants an engine like
Hey,
that? Hey, you
Wankel is a
doing?
very German name.
wait, if it was German, wouldn't it be Wankel?
Yeah, true.
All right. Glad we've answered that mystery.
It says a Vankel.
Wiener Schnitzel. Anyway,
Wiener Schnitzel?
what's the game?
The
Gonna
game
be
today,
Quizzled?
I have a series of trivia questions. I'm going to ask one of you, and then the other one will have a chance to steal if the first one gets it wrong, and then I will reveal the answer. And
How do we know who goes first?
I'll tell you. So, for the listeners out there, not you two, you don't get to know. For the listeners out there, you're going to find that certain aspects of this game seem a little bit derivative. You might even say that it seems like I'm copying someone. First question. I'm going to ask this question of Resident, because as everyone knows, furries are best. I have a question for you.
Yes.
What year did the first Shelby Cobra get manufactured?
1963.
Ooh, close, but not quite. Bandit for the steal. 5,
Hmm.
4,
Well, I'm gonna have to go
3,
64 because 63 was I was gonna say.
Bandit, you're a goddamn fool. The real answer is 1962.
Fuck.
Yep. Everyone knows, everyone is aware that the very first Shelby Cobra, which its VIN number is CSX2000, was the very first Cobra completed by Shelby. I believe it had a 289 in it. Nope, it had a 260 for a hot second, and then it had a 289 because I believe it was a little bit of a test bed model.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving right along. All right, and then we're going to do in kind of a round robin style, and that means that Bandit, you are first. What year
Oh boy.
was the very first Ford 302? Ford 5-liter. What year was that first built? Not sold, built.
Well, built and used makes me think that, well, the 302 was like first done for a racing application. And my thought also first goes to Lamar applied the 5-liter rule to basically rule out the 427 and the big engines as a jab, as a French jab to Ford. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling that the 302 was first developed for the Mark IV or the Mark something or other Ford GT40, but it also could have been done for the Can-Am or the Trans Am series. I think it's the Trans Am series of the Boss 429, but not 429. Sorry, the Boss 302 Mustang. But I'm gonna go. It was for the Mark IV Ford GT40, so 1967.
He really talked through his answer. He figured it out, and he is correct. He wins 1 point.
Yay!
Moving right along to Resident. I have a question for you. What model year was the very first Miata?
The 89.
I am sorry, that is actually incorrect.
Yeah, what country?
Bandit for the steal.
I think that, I mean, technically, the most generic, bare, basic answer is 1990.
Is that your answer? Are you the generic?
When was the Miata badge introduced? Because the MX-5, this is the thing.
That's what
the
it
MX
was. That's fucking...
was
Oh, you think
was
that, but
the
you're wrong.
first thing. It was always the MX-5, and that was introduced in 1989 in Japan, wasn't it? It was called the MX-5 in Japan?
Okay, so let me change my question. The first MX-5. What model year was the first MX-5?
Well, I don't know. 1990.
That is actually correct. So here's the thing, and here is what
was called
screwed
the-
over Resident.
Fucking Roadster.
No, so here's
wasn't-
the other thing. Here's the deal. It was shown at, as popular knowledge would tell you, the 1989 Chicago Auto Show. It was the 1990 model year. You'll notice I put extra emphasis on the model year it was. While it did come out in 89, it was the 90 model. A little trick for you, haha, you silly goose. And funnily enough, Bandit actually wandered right into the answer. He gets another point.
Yeah, but was the Miata badge always
I don't know. I
synonymous
don't
with
know how to
MX-5?
read.
Like, what was
No, it's
what was
the
the
U.S.
name?
moniker.
I don't
It's
know.
the
I don't know how
US
to
moniker.
read.
And the MX-5 Roadster didn't come out in 1989 in Japan.
It was marketed as the Mazda Roadster.
I mean, it makes sense that it wouldn't come out in Japan a year earlier, unlike how sometimes Subaru does things, because it was developed in California. It was developed to be an American market car, first and foremost. So I think, I don't even think it would have come out as a Roadster in 89 in Japan. Anyways.
It did not. I told you already. In 89, it was introduced.
Okay, there we go. Next question. Oh, is it for me? Am I next?
On to the next question. That is your turn right now.
Yeah.
Let me see the very first thing that I can think of. Let's take a peek. This is going to be cut out. It'll be cut out. Hold on 1 second. I got to be
The
right
car
back.
was sold in 1989.
No, it wasn't. Shut your dirty whore. Well, yeah, it was sold in
Was
1989.
it sold
the
in
same
89,
way.
but as a 90 model?
It was a
Anyways,
90
kinda like
model.
the
Okay, so you're asking for the model
Yeah.
year.
I was asking for
64 and a
model
half
year.
Mustangs don't exist. They're all 65. Or wait, is it 63 and a half? 64 and a half?
It's 64
Anyways,
and a half.
they don't exist. They're all 65. And if they are 64 on the titles, the state messed up. The DMV messed up. All right, question. Shoot. Hit me.
I think he had to step away for a second.
I had to run off. What was that you said? I'm
You had
sorry.
to run
I-
off.
I did have
Hit
to run
me.
off. Okay, question.
me.
Sorry. Anyway, that was a little bit of a trick question. Technically, it was sold in 89. It was introduced in 89. But it was the 1990 model year. In the same way that because the 64 and a half
There's 64
Mustang,
and a half exists.
very strange because it was
They're all
sold.
65. It should be 65. If it's on the title that says 64, the DMV messed up.
Yeah, it's because of the whole.
Some of those exist. Though.
Yeah, it was bought in a weird time. It was because it's very strange because like every model year for a car generally runs for 2 years, and the 64 and a half is referred to because it was sold in 64, but not. Yeah.
Both two doors, both sold like hotcakes.
Yes. I have a good question for you, Bandit.
Oh.
I was about to ask you a question that was going to screw you over from the beginning.
You purposely got it
Yeah,
out for
I
me.
mean,
Great.
Well, I did just screw over. I did just screw over Resident on purpose, so
Absolutely. That one was
I am going to be screwing
quizzical.
you over. Yes, it was a trick, you see. When was the first patent for a Wankel awarded?
So basically, it's Wankel's German for a reason, and it was in the German cars before Mazda ever got their hands on it. I think most notably with NSU, which is like a subdivision of Audi, or it got paired up with Audi. NSU basically became Audi Auto Union with a bunch of other companies. And that was definitely in the 60s. There's also famous cars like the Mercedes. I think it's the C111, which is like this awesome mid-engine rotary supercar looking thing, except it's just a dorky little rotary engine in it.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm gonna need
do
an
I
answer.
need to get? It's in the 60s. It would be in the early 60s. I'm going to say 1961.
Bandit, you are a fool, and I do not know if I can love you anymore. Resident, your turn. What year was the very first patent for a Wankel engine awarded?
He's gone.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
He's thinking. He's gone into his mind palace.
Because like a patent, like I connected my answer with the 60s because that's the earliest cars that I could think of. But a patent could exist before something was developed, like way before something was developed. It was like, did Ben Franklin come up with the Wankel engine? I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I kind
It's
of
called the
shot for...
Atkinson cycle, right? The piston engine's called the Atkinson cycle. And Atkinson, when did Atkinson
No.
develop that?
Auto.
That was like
OTTO.
1890s or something, right?
No, it was auto.
So
Auto cycle.
What? I thought it's Atkinson.
I'm gonna look it up now.
I'm using the not for the answer, but for the Atkinson cycle.
Not fucking Rowan
engine.
Atkinson.
The Atkinson cycle engine is a type of internal combustion engine designed for improved fuel efficiency, particularly at lower loads. Blah 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 blah.
No.
You mean okay? Well, anyway,
It's a differential engine.
Atkinson combustion cycle is a total thing.
I'm going to go. Oh fuck! God damn it!
I believe in you. I had to go with
I'd
patent
just
so that I
shoot
would have
for
a
it.
solid year.
How about whoever is closer to the year wins? I'd said 61. Get a year in there, and we'll see who's closer for half a point.
No.
Because I don't think we're gonna get it.
1952.
I hate to tell you this. No. So the
Fuck.
correct answer,
Like
The
it's a
correct
patent.
answer-
It could
Was
be
it pre-war?
so early.
it was indeed pre-World War II. In
I could see it being during the
1934,
war.
in 1934, Felix
It was
Wankel
pre-war.
got himself a
Yeah.
patent for his silly little motor. All
I
right.
couldn't remember if it was pre-war, and then I had a vague remembrance that he knew fucking Ferdinand Porsche, but not
Pre-war.
for,
I
not
wouldn't
for
have
good
guessed
reasons.
No, I would never have guessed pre-war. I would have. My second guess would be, oh yeah, a patent post-war. I would think post-war because of the
NSU.
massive development that happened throughout the war with piston engines, and especially like rotaries in the aviation sense kind of
Yeah.
makes sense. The piston engine developed so much in such a short period of time because of fighters, aircraft, all of that.
He actually had a dream about the engine while he was sick when he was like 13.
I love that.
Weird. That's a level of genius prodigy I will never be. Oh yeah, I came up with it in a dream. I came up with it in the shower. You know what I do in the shower? I sing sweet nothings.
Oh, that's not the direction I thought it was going.
You're
That's
All right.
fucked up.
So, on to the next question. Your pervy little bandit habits aside, on
oh
to
my god.
who am I asking? Resident? Is it Resident's turn? Yes, it is. Okay,
yeah.
so Resident,
He has a half a point.
what year? And I'll accept close counts because of how odd it is. Nope, you know what? I won't accept close counts. The Benz Motorwagen is generally considered by most people to be the first car. What year was it patented?
Say the question again.
The Benz Motorwagen is generally considered to be the first internal combustion engine powered car. What year was it patented?
1904.
No,
Oh, wow.
you silly goose.
That's a
Bandit.
I was gonna go earlier. 1890.
I'm sorry, but the wrongness of your answer has killed me. The answer is 1886. Did you guess 1904, Resident?
Yeah.
I know. 1904 was way too late.
Way too late. Because Ford had already
We were
had
getting close to
his
making airplanes
Yeah, Ford had already had like 2 failed companies, including a race car company, by the time he founded Ford in 1904. That should have been one of the questions.
Yeah, we made flying planes by 1904 with engines. So
I don't know. I'm kind of stupid.
That's okay. That's okay. I've
Real
tried to. I'm trying to mix in some more tuner questions. You're very 80s. Me and Bandit are a little bit older. Vehicle
I
knowledge
don't know
wise.
patent dates.
Yeah, it's
That's the thing, though. That's the itch that scratches my brain. I normally like to know weird, stupid facts like that too.
no, and it's fun.
Right.
All
I
right.
don't know why.
Ooh, Hudson Hornets, the coolest, sickest, dopest car of the early 1950s. So good. In the NASCAR series, through 1951 to 1953, the monster to beat, the beast of the NASCAR Dirt Oval was the Hudson Hornet. It won, generally. If you were involved in any NASCAR race in 1952 or 1953, there was an 80% chance that a Hudson Hornet was going to take home the trophy. It was just that good. One of the things that helped it kick ass was the patented twin H power system. What was that system? This question is for someone. I forgot who went first. Bandit,
Yes.
Bandit, it's your turn, because that never happened.
How? Twin H. Twin H.
What is
Well,
the twin H power system?
It's gotta be a carburetor. It's either a carburetor, a multi-carburetor system, or it's literally there's just 2 H pipes in the exhaust. So I don't know why you'd want 2 H pipes in your exhaust. So I'm gonna say it's a multi-carb setup.
That is actually completely correct. It was 2 carburetors, which brought its 308 cubic inch straight 6 up to 160 horsepower.
So why is it called twin H though? Is it 2 4 carbs? Because like I can see how you'd call that a twin H. Or is it twin? Is it like 2 intake systems and 1 carburetor per?
It's
not
just-
a single log.
It's a relatively uncomplicated, just 2 carburetors. It's just that they wanted a manufacturable name, a marketable name, so they called it the H power. It is literally just 2 carbs.
What's Hudson Power?
Oh,
Yeah.
twin H. That's weird.
And I'm very curious at the kind of system that you would implement into a vehicle with a straight 6 that would have H pipes in the exhaust to begin with. On to Resident.
Kind of forgot they had 6s.
Yep. A monster and a half, flathead straight 6. Resident, what year was the very first automotive V8 manufactured?
Automotive V8.
C.
I didn't pay fuck all attention to this part of history. I don't know, 1922.
You're a silly goose. Bandit,
Give me the question.
what was the first automotive V8? When was it manufactured? When was it put into a car?
Okay, the first automotive V8 was probably a Hispano-Suiza.
What the
Huh?
fuck is Hispano Suiza?
Huh?
Oh no, okay. So Hispano-Suiza made a lot of V8s, I think, for the aviation side of things. I can see a V8, a Hispano-Suiza aviation V8 being in one of those early race cars. But did you say production?
You have
Yes.
a particular flavor of autism, don't you? Good lord.
Does.
Shut up.
wanna
Okay,
talk
but if it's
about
production, but it's
neurodivergency.
totally the Cadillac of 1920. He said 22. I'm gonna go 1928.
You're a fool. In 1914, Cadillac introduced Cadillac introduced their first V8 powered car. Interesting of note, it was overhead valve from the very beginning. The first automotive V8 was already overhead valve.
Damn.
So no one gets a point. You both are fools.
Can I extrapolate upon the Hispano-Suiza?
Yes, go
needs
nuts.
to get it
Extrapolate. Expound.
So the Hispano-Suiza 8 is a water-cooled V8 single overhead cam aero engine introduced in 1914 and went on to be the most commonly used liquid-cooled engine in the aircraft of the Entente powers during the First World War. So let's see, is there a car that Hispano-Suiza made first? Car V8. The first Hispano-Suiza car equipped with a V8 was in 1911, but it was a race car. So
Yes, we're discussing production cars.
we're just guessing. So that's why I was thinking Hispano-Suiza, but I got the year entirely wrong. I was going glitzy glamour, rolling 20s, and it was indeed not.
That's okay. We will forgive you this time. Since you guys apparently can't think that far back, what was the first Chevy V8?
No, fuck
I mean,
all that, Chevy.
Chevy never really needed V8s. They were doing really great with their inline sixes.
They were, but When was their first V8 introduced? I'll give you a bonus point. if
Fucking
you can-
32.
No. And it was also not your turn. I'm pretty sure it's Bandit's turn. Is it Bandit's turn? No, it's not. Yes. Yes, it
No.
is.
No. Wait, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it
I
is.
dropped it anyway.
You did, and you're wrong. So Bandit.
Well, I think their first V8 was the small block Chevy because they always used inline sixes and they always made more power than Ford with their inline sixes, even though they had 2 cylinders less.
Unfortunately, that is not a year. Tell me a year.
Well, I know that the 287 was first
man's on
made
drugs.
in 1957.
Every single number you have just said is wrong. You're hurting my soul.
Oh, I'm sorry. 283 is what the engine is, and that first was bored out in 1957.
Bored out from
but-
what?
But that was created from the Chevy like 230 or 231, and that I have no idea when it was made.
I just
I'm
want
gonna
to
say
throw
it was
out.
probably for it's probably for the
I think
full body Fords like the 210.
I don't
and
think
all
you know.
that.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that the
Fuck all
first
about this.
1955.
the first Chevy V8 was made for the Ford full bodies?
I'm sorry. You know, the 210 like town car stuff, right?
No. 210 wasn't. No. 210 is
1955. 1955.
Brother
no.
not get his beauty sleep. Good lord.
No. The answer is no.
54.
That's incorrect. No.
50.
The first.
53.
No.
He's gonna beat
The
you to
first. The very first. I'm gonna expand on that particular thing on the small block Chevy because of all the
Was it
things
the
that you just
230?
said that is wrong. No.
It wasn't 230.
The first Chevy
death.
V8.
You're stupid.
The first Chevy V8 came out in 1917, and it only lasted a year because you're right. They were doing really good. They were doing really good with their
It only
straight
lasted
sixes.
a year.
It only lasted a year. It showed up for 1917. It was gone in 1918. That's
Okay,
the answer
so,
on that
like,
one.
That doesn't count.
When did they bring their V8s
That doesn't
back?
count. When did they bring it back?
No, they produced it and they sold the Chevy little. What do they call it? Like a Speed
Yeah, but that
8
doesn't
or something.
count.
Now,
It
now
does
I'm just
count. It was
curious,
produced
though,
and sold.
Yeah,
when did they
like-
bring it back, though? I'm just curious now what that date was.
Well, that's gonna
Yeah.
be
So what was?
our next
A
question.
later question. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
This one
God
right
damn it.
now. So, Resident, I believe it is your turn. No, it's not. You tricky bastard. You've been making me give you the first question every single time. Bandit, it's your turn.
What?
What? Yeah, cuz
Huh?
But I already spilled
you
out all
see-
my knowledge that I know about the first small block Chevy.
the shenanigans that
I
have
think it's
occurred.
230 or 231, and it came out probably around 55, 54, 53. What's the question? I'm dying.
Question is, so here's the thing. Firstly, the reason I'm starting with you, Bandit, and not you, Resident, is because through mindfuckery, Resident, you went twice first, and now I'm making Bandit go first to get it back and forth. Because you went first on the last question, but you jumped the gun.
What's the question?
The question
You
is...
might lose me. My power just surged.
Uh-oh. That's okay. My headphones are dying. Anyway, small block Chevy. What year did it first come out? And for a bonus point, what size was it? And I know you know these things in your brain somewhere.
I don't. I know fuck all about
God
this. I'm
damn
gonna
it,
guess.
Resident, not you, Bandit!
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
What?
What year did the small block Chevy show up? And for a bonus point, what size was it?
Okay. It was not a 230, probably,
Gee, I don't know.
or was it? I'm gonna say it was a 230, and it came out probably in 54.
No, that is incorrect. Resident, your turn.
I know nothing of Chevy block sizes in the fucking slightest.
Gus's
So I'm gonna guess. I don't know. These numbers sound fun. 1951 and 232.
No, you simple bitch. The correct answer is the small block Chevy came onto the scene in the 1955 model year, and it was a 265.
Oh,
And I was giggling.
I knew that.
You were pretty close, but you were just off.
Right? So what was it made for?
It
Like,
was
what was
made-
the car it got introduced with?
Well, everything. But the thing that people remember is the Tri-5 Chevy. The 1955 Chevy is the
Yeah,
one that people think
yeah.
of.
Like the two. Okay, what's the 210?
The 210 is a type of Chevy sedan. It wasn't the Bel. So there were
Yeah.
3 different levels of that same Chevy sedan.
Mm-hmm.
And each of them had a 2-door, a 2-door hardtop, a 4-door. We're not going to get into that. But basically, the Chevy sedans, there was the 150, which was the cheapest one, the basic one. There was the 210, the kind of mid-range model, and then there was the Bel Air with all the bells and whistles and stuff.
So my thought was Tri-5. I couldn't remember the word Tri-5, right? I knew it wasn't just Bel Air. I shot for the middle. 210. Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah,
210, a Chevy, that line of cars that they had. I knew that it was possibly introduced for that line of cars. But here's my other thought was that Buick stopped making inline 8s for their cars in 53, and they switched to V8s in 54. So I thought maybe Chevy got on board with that at the same time.
That's a fair thought.
Yeah.
But no.
And in the Buick Inline 8, I really, really want a 1953 Buick, like a Roadmaster or something with that. I think it's like a 348 cubic inch Inline 8. Oh, so cool.
I think that is a fair thing to look into. Oh.
I should have known that it was a 265 as well, because I just did all of that knowledge regarding
You did.
regarding 283. At first, because the 1957 casting of the 283 was just a 265 block bored out more, but it made the cylinder walls too fragile.
That is actually what got me giggling when you were first going off on a whole thing about the Chevy V8.
Talking about this.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's because you said that you thought that the small block Chevy was introduced in 1957 as a 283 as a bored up engine. So you said it was bored up in 1957. Yes. You were saying that it first came out in 1957 while acknowledging that it was a bigger version of a prior V8.
Yes.
So that's what got me giggling.
I knew all of this information, but I couldn't quite get the right dates and numbers of what it was before the 283.
That is okay, because we're moving on.
To
the first Ford V8. And I believe this is residence question. Now, specifically Ford, not Lincoln. Ford.
Well, okay.
First Ford V8?
First Ford V8. Production V8.
Well, what else can it be?
They had prototypes earlier.
Are you asking year or type of engine?
The year. Because everyone knows what type of engine was Ford's first V8.
Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
But what was the year? Oh, crap. I think I know.
Bro, I don't know. 1924.
That is incorrect, but you're not far off. Bandit!
Oh. He's not far off. Oh,
well,
crap.
He's kind of far off, but he's not, he's close-ish, sort of.
Oh, crap.
I couldn't fucking remember what chassis it was in.
I might have this totally wrong. I'm going to shoot 19... Oh, crap. Was that the first year it was made?
I don't know, was it?
Okay, I'm just going to say 1918.
No.
I know, that was the first year it was produced. Like, the Model T was produced, wasn't it?
No, the Model T was produced in 1908. Oh, I should have used that as a question.
But like 1918, was it the Model A that the V8 was introduced on?
Yes, but actually no.
Okay, well, when did the Model A come into production? Was that 1918?
That is actually a future question, so no.
I'm gonna say that 1918 is when something changed in Ford, because they're like, hey, we've been doing the same shit for like 10 years. Time to move on. Something happened in 1918, and not just the war ending. Something happened. Wait, did the war end in 1990? Oh, crap.
Oh, my God. He doesn't know when World War I ended.
I remember it was like November 11th. But what year was it? All right.
This is a silly, goofy, furry car podcast, not war podcast, you silly goose.
Yeah, but the war and car industry had so much in common.
They did. You're not wrong. But alas, 1918, far as my knowledge is, I can't think of anything big, at least that I know of. So no, the correct answer.
I might be confusing Model 18. What's the Ford Model 18?
We are moving on. Because the correct answer for the first Ford V8 was in 1932. And
the Model 18.
I hate that was the other number in my head.
32. I know, you actually answered it earlier for something else completely.
The 1932 Ford. Wow. Okay, so the Model 18 is that car. No!
That's
Hard.
why I was like trying to. That was gonna be a future question that is now scrubbed from the record. Speaking-
no.
Speaking of the Flathead V8, Bandit, how many cooling systems did it have?
It had two, because it was basically the inline four just gone into a V.
That's
Yes, that is correct. And the reason for that is because
They're
Henry.
fucks.
Why did
It's
he get
'cause-
the easy question?
It's because Henry Ford is a
It's not a question.
psychopath.
That was a fun
That's why.
fact.
It is kind of a fun fact. I'm trying to shoot for more for, you know. All right, so you got that one correct. I'm sorry that he got the easy question.
Well, that was just a
I don't
tidbit.
give a fuck, bro.
I haven't even. Yeah, I completely forgot the numbers. Of who
I'm
won
hitting you
losing.
guys.
I didn't
I'm hitting
care.
you guys with
Next
a lot of
question.
numbers on this one.
Yeah, I know.
I suck at
kind
the
of
dates game. I
There's
can
a
barely
lot.
remember my wife's birthday.
There's a lot of numbers involved in
Exactly.
cars.
Yeah, right.
On
This is like
to-
car talk to the extreme.
Yes. On to the next question. And Resident, this is your question. What year was the first Oldsmobile V8?
Oh God.
Bro, what the fuck?
Go on, hit me with it.
V8 or
Uh,
8-cylinder?
V8.
Ah, damn it.
I don't know, 1928 with the Rocket V8.
Yes, but actually no. On to Bandit.
Oh,
So it's the Rocket
what?
V8.
It is the Rocket V8. You were correct on there. I'm going to give
God
you a
damn
bonus
it.
point for that.
That's totally 50s.
Hmm?
Totally 50s. Okay, so
was
Oldsmobile,
it?
they also, I believe, made inline eights. So we're gonna go 54.
It was
I was wrong.
1949.
Not that.
In fact, Oldsmobile's V8 was kicking ass at NASCAR. Their reign of terror was ended because in 49 and 50 they were kicking ass. And then the Hudson Hornet showed up and stomped them.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next question, and this is gonna be a Bandit question. What year range was the very first Hemi?
The first hemispherical head.
Hemispherical combustion
Oh.
chamber introduced by Chrysler, because it was played with by other people, but specifically the production of what is commonly known now as the Hemi. But at the time was the Firepower, Fire Dome, I think the Red Ram, whatever, the Hemi.
1931.
1931. Is that really your answer?
Yeah.
That's the age range
Yes.
of the first Hemi V8 from Chrysler?
I don't know, dude.
I am going to sneak to your house and bite your kneecaps. On to Resident.
Bro, yeah, I'm fucking. I'm in the dark, bro.
Hey, at least you know it's not 1931.
You know it's not 1931.
Bro, I don't fucking know. 31 to 36. I don't know.
The actual answer is 1951 to 1958. Fun
Okay.
fact.
Later.
Fun fact, the 1958 Chrysler 300 was one of the fastest production cars with the 392 V8 and the dual carbs on it because it made nearly 400 horsepower in the
Oh,
50s.
good lord.
In the 50s.
Wait, are you talking about the 392?
I'm talking about the, let me think, what was it? The 331, the 352, and the 392. That was the Chrysler version. That was the Firepower version. There was also a
Pontiac
DeSoto
use
version
that?
and a Dodge version. Did what?
Did Pontiac use that as a 392?
No, I think you're thinking of the 389.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I have two more questions. I was going to have more, and I was going to try and lean more into the tuner thing, but I don't want to make you guys suffer forever.
Yay.
Plus, this is only phase 1 of the game.
Who's next? Oh, God.
I will actually probably have to clock after this phase.
Yes, same.
Well, then in that case, I am canceling the questions, and we're entering phase 2 right now.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What year, Resident, what year did the first Cobra come out?
Didn't we already answer that?
Did you answer it correctly?
Well,
You
we
didn't.
answered it.
Resident,
We're at
Shit. You literally were talking about it earlier.
yeah. So we're like correcting our answers. Oh my God. Oh dear.
1961.
ooh,
21.
close but no cigar. Bandit,
It was 62.
1962?
It was 1962.
That is
I guessed
correct.
64. He first guessed 1963. I went the wrong direction. Yada yada yada.
All right, Bandit. What year
Yes.
was the Wankel first patented?
It was actually pre-war, surprisingly. Yeah, it was
Well, thanks for letting me know.
it was actually pre-war by the Dr. Weinkel, blah 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 blah. You said 1930s. I forget exactly what year. I'm going to shoot for 1931.
You are a fool, Resident.
34.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go.
It's his first answer on the board.
Yeah.
Resident, it is your turn. What year the Benz Motorwagen is generally considered the first car, even though that's not the case.
I was so close with this one too.
What year
Fuck,
was it patented?
1886.
Damn right it was.
Let's go.
Bandit, the
Yes.
Hudson Hornet, kicked all the ass from 1951 to 1953. What was the twin H power it utilized?
I already answered that one with the correct answer.
Yeah, then give it to me. Oh, you're right. I am so sorry. We're cutting that out. Everyone ignore me. I'm really bad at everything. We're not cutting it out because I deserve to have my shame known. What year?
Shame.
Shush,
Go,
Bandit.
go,
What
go,
year
go.
was the first automotive V8 introduced?
1914
And
in a
produced.
Cadillac.
That is correct. You get a cookie.
Can I eat the cookie?
No. What year was the first Chevy V8 introduced, Resident?
Shit, fuck you, fuck.
Yeah!
50
Breaking his audio.
was that right?
I didn't even hear.
Yeah, you were
all I
right.
heard was Bandit
He said
screaming.
1955. He said 1955. I'm screaming because he actually remembered.
That's incorrect.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
The first Chevy V8 showed up in 1917, guys, and it was produced. sold,
right.
and then it
Fuck,
was
that was the
gone by
goddamn
1918.
block.
See, it doesn't count because nobody cares about that one.
Fuck.
Nobody cares about it.
Oh, and I just realized that I cut Bandit off. No one gets the point.
Oh, come on.
I didn't let him answer. I am so sorry, but I don't care. Moving
I
on
was
to the
gonna say
next question.
1955.
Bandit, what year was the first Ford V8 introduced?
It was introduced in the 1932 model year. Well, actually, I don't know if it's called the 32 Ford. Everyone calls it a 32 Ford. It was the Model
What is it?
18. I only saw like, yeah, it was 1932. I don't know. The Model 18.
In what year? That was the only question you needed to
Okay.
answer.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1932,
That is correct.
or is it 33, or is it 34? Yay! Okay.
I should have made you keep talking. It would have ruined.
I know,
Moving on.
right?
Bandit, or not Bandit, fuck you. Resident, what year did the first small block Chevy come out? And for a bonus point, what was its size?
It's 55. And
Yeah, but what was its size?
Mm-hmm. You get that point, but do you
was-
get the other point? What do you get the other point? Do you
283.
get the other point? What was that?
See, all of my crazy bantering threw you off.
Yeah,
What
it-
size did you say? I didn't hear.
He said
I didn't say
283.
anything. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Shut up.
No, no, no,
Fucking whore
he
mouth.
said it. He said it already. He said it.
Shut your
I'm
fucking whore.
afraid that I'm gonna have to trust him on this one. You were correct on 55, so you get that point. However, I cannot give
You
you
can
the
suck my
bonus point
toes.
because it was a bonus point,
What?
not an actual question. We're skipping right over to the next question, which is
Oh,
what
fine.
was the first Oldsmobile V8, Bandit?
It was. I don't know why I nearly said odd fire. It was.
The
it was
Oddfire.
Like that fire, Bob. 1949.
That is correct.
Yay! I'm so
Moving-
demoralized.
Moving on to the next question. Resident,
Yeah.
what was the year range for the first generation Hemi?
Fuck. 51
That is
to 58.
Hot diggity! That is the correct answer.
Let's go.
That is one
Good job.
additional point on the board for you. All right, on to the next question. And because I feel like it.
Mercy.
No. What year
Yeah.
did the first Chevy V8 come out? And this is going to be a question for Resident.
Stupid.
Fuck you.
Fuck you're asking the Chevy V8 again? Stupid
Mhm.
fucking
First
1917.
V8. There you go. That is the correct
Go
answer.
fuck yourself.
I'm speechless.
This
You know
is
what?
Violent. This is
For
torture.
maximum funniness. Bonus question going to Resident again. 'cause I
This
feel
is
like
so
it.
unhinged.
What was the very first small block Chevy came out in 1955? What size was it?
Fuck. I don't know. 265?
Yeah, that is the correct answer.
Let's go.
I would have gotten it. It would have been mine. All of my incessant rambling and delirium. Just
I know. You
give
just I'd
me
ask
the
you a
answer.
straightforward question. You'd be like, "Well, let me think here," and then you go on a whole thing. Let me.
you know, you gotta give the lore.
Gotta give the lore. Just 1 second. I need to tally up the points at this moment in time.
I swear to God.
3, 4, 5. That's 5. That's 6 right there. And there we have 1, 2, a 3, a 4, 5, and a 6, and a 7, and an 8. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Crackhead.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Cut it in half. It's 6 and an 8. That's how that works. Okay, oh my goodness. All right.
He's going mad.
So that is
I
the end of my
already
game. That is the end of the game. And the game stands as thus. Resident, you have 6 points.
Yippee.
Bandit, you have 8 points.
Yay! I
That means
nearly bobbled it.
you won the game. And if I'm entirely honest, I was being pretty cheap at the end there just for fun, just because I thought it'd be funny.
Does that mean I'm the game master next time?
What it means is that my headphones have just died, but we're in the outro now. You are not the game master. I'm keeping the fact that you won this episode to myself for a future reason, which I will explain later. That is the end.
And on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell, oh, it's copyrighted. They're gonna get us now. On that,
No!
on that non-copyrighted bombshell, we are at the end of the game. We are at the end of the episode. How the fuck do we end something?
You say goodbye because goodbyes are not forever.
Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Again, I am Lik'a. That is Bandit. That is Resident. Okay, bye. And it's at the end. He fucking left instantly. That
Bye.
fucker.